fellow wannabe war criminals and murder hobos. Welcome back to Geeks and Gunnery. I am your host, TPK, and today we are going to do another short one-shot dungeon. And, yeah, this one is also going to be based off of one of the Die Hard movies. It's going to be Die Hard with a Vengeance. So get ready for another terrorist themed Christmas movie. I don't know. We're just going to go with it. So, yeah. So, quick one shot for you DMs or first time DMs, forever DMs, first time DMs. If you don't have anything to run or half your party decided they had to cancel, but half of your party still wants to play and you guys still want to run something, this is for you. We're going to do this quickly as possible. Just a general overview of a one-shot campaign that you can run, and then you can fill it with whatever monsters you feel like. So, as I said, this is going to be based on Die Hard with a Vengeance, where Bruce Willis, a.k.a. Mr. Yippee-Ki-Yay, whose character, for some fucking reason, I cannot remember his name. I'm an action movie hero buff, and I cannot remember Bruce Willis's character's name in Die Hard movies. Oh my god, I'm blanking. Somebody in the comments slap me. If I had people to comment, I don't have a following yet. Anyway, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Bruce Willis. So, in Die Hard with a Vengeance, he is at the airport waiting for his wife to show up, and a colonel whose name I also fucking forget shows up with his cohort to basically take over the airport and hold all of the planes that are in the air hostage. And basically, if you don't meet our demands, we're going to crash all the aircraft. So, depending on what kind of setting you're in, an airport might not exactly fit. So, what I did is I took this and fantasy themed it just a smidge. And we are actually going to make this a teleportation terminal, where it is a bunch of teleportation portals that are funded by the government, whatever fits for your world. And you just walk through the teleporter. You walk basically inside of this kind of like, not necessarily a void, but like a limbo dimension almost, like you're passing through limbo type spiel, right? Sorry. Passing through limbo. And then you pop out the other side at wherever your destination was. Now, the terrorists that are here to take over the airport or the teleportation terminal are cultists of some greater evil. Nobody knows why they're there. Nobody knows why they've shut down the teleportation terminals. But the only thing that you know from the start is that everybody that has currently walked through the teleporters never came out the other side. Basically, everybody that entered the teleporters before the terrorists showed up are now stuck in limbo. They can't get out. They don't know they don't know why they're stuck in limbo. They don't know why the terrorists are doing this or the cultists are doing this, but all they know is they have to stop them so that way they can get everybody out and figure out who's unaccounted for, what have you. Now, the kicker for this one, though, is that the cultists are actually holding everybody in prison in limbo because there is something in limbo that, if they feed it, is like their god or whatever. It's something that they worship, that has convinced them if they do this, it will grant them power. And they're trying to set it free. It's stuck in limbo. So, this one will also have a timeline. So, DMs or forever DMs or first time DMs, make a list of an arbitrary number of like how many people were stuck in limbo, right? Just an arbitrary number. Doesn't have to be big, can be small, could be stupidly huge. You could have thousands of people stuck in this thing, but give it a number. Doesn't matter what number. Every hour, not necessarily of gameplay, could be in-game, could be however you want, like whatever your time frame is, because this is a one shot and you guys want to get through it in one attempt or possibly 2 attempts, because that's how I make my one shots. If you can't finish it in one session, in my mind, it's not a one shot, it's a short campaign. So this is for one day, one session, one, uno mas. So whatever number fits for the time constraints that you have. Now, as your party basically assaults the teleportation terminal and starts taking out the cultists, and you can make them whatever you like, depending on the level of your party. So that way you guys, if you guys want to use the same characters that you've been using the entire campaign and they're high level, you can base it off, you can make the threats more potent and just say, hey, this was just a side job that these specific party members did while the others were doing something else. Something along those lines. Not something you get XP for, really, or anything like that, or has any lasting consequences of like death, dismemberment, something along those lines, unless you want to do that. But something that those players can do. Or if you guys have a ton of backlog characters that you haven't used yet and you want to start out at level 1 and do this, then you can make the threats much less, make them like bandits or goblins or kobolds or something, something that's easy to kill, but you can throw at your players in high numbers over and over and over again to still make the threat feel, dangerous and, like feel like you're in peril. So as they work their way through the airport to try and figure out where this colonel or whatever BBEG you guys have planned for this or want to put in this, just whatever cult leader you have, trying to figure out where he's got control of all the teleportation terminals. You find information in bits and pieces on like what the cult worships, on cultists that they've killed, holy symbols that they don't recognize that are some abyssal creature that you just don't know what it is. And then by the end of it, if they've gone very quickly through all of this, if they've slain all of the creatures and they've gotten to the cult leader and they've put him down and put a stake in his heart or whatever, and they manage to free everybody in the teleportation terminal, you can do a head count and see who that was stuck in limbo is still alive and well, because the longer they take, the more of the people that are stuck in limbo get consumed by whatever entity the cult is trying to release. So the longer they take, the more people die. Pretty simple. And like I said, for you first-time DMs or forever DMs, you can simply use whatever arbitrary numbers you want to make it feel like they are losing something when they go through this. And then also set an arbitrary number for how many people, like say you set it for, like said there's like 1,000 people in limbo, but the big bad evil like monster, the eldritch entity or whatever that the cultists are trying to wake, say it needs only to consume like 100 before it can break free. But if it consumes all of them, it breaks free and like has a higher tiered form that is just super hard to kill. Something along those lines. So set 2 numbers out of your, however many you put in place. And if you put like a really small number in place, like of how many people were in these teleportation terminals, make it like a random of like, maybe the eldritch entity has to consume specific individuals out of that. So like when they free everybody, they realize, hey, the archmage that was super powerful is no longer here. Or maybe the entity just needed to possess a certain individual that was in there, like an archmage or something along those lines, and he consumes everybody else on his way to find that one. And then that would be like he possesses that person and then escapes out of limbo. So something along those lines. So just in case you ever wanted to use this eldritch entity in your campaigns later on, if the party didn't quite save everybody on time, or if your party gets wiped and then that you just get to narrate the ending of, everyone that was in limbo like gets consumed and then this eldritch entity broke free, and now, there's a possibility of another one shot in the future where you guys have to go kill this eldritch entity. And the eldritch entity can be literally whatever you want. Like, you can go to any monster manual and pull something out of there that is strong enough that, and remember guys, go off of, for those of you who are playing 5th edition, remember to use the challenge rating stuff in the DM's guide. If you do that for your encounters, most of the time it's fairly balanced. From what I've done, it's okay. It's not great, it's okay. So remember to make this encounter kind of balanced depending on who your party is and what their level is. So, but that's basically it. Is you guys just go through and are assaulting a teleportation terminal or airport terminal, depending on what kind of transportation. I mean, hell, depending on your world, you could have a dragon terminal where dragons just land and they've mind controlled all of the dragons to just, crash or whatever, something, anything. You can make it anything. Don't be scared. You can do this. You can make it anything, especially for you first time DMs who are having a little trouble. You can make this anything, any type of terminal hub of transportation that fits your world. You can make it do anything. Okay? Cool. But as always, we're going to make a gun for your party members to use. So, we're going to do this quick because I got like a minute before my camera decides that it's going to make a section in the video. So, all right, we're going to roll a range. D6, D6, D6. Where's my D6? Are you my D6? You're my D8, right? No, you're my D6. Okay, D6 for range. It's a 5. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so 5 on the dice means 100 feet without disadvantage, 500 feet with disadvantage, up to 500 feet with disadvantage. So from 100 to, or 101 to 500 is disadvantage. Got it? Got it. Good. Okay. Now we're going to roll our D8 for how much damage this does. We got a 5, so that's a D12 of damage. So everybody in the party gets one of these, just FYI. Don't worry, we're trying not to make these legendary. All right, so now we're going to do what type of cartridge it takes. Glass vials. Okay, so it's a D12 AoE damage, right? Okay, now we're going to do barrel type, which is a D4. And I believe, okay, so smooth bore. Okay, so we rolled a 4, so that's smooth bore. That means it knocks it down. Now it is going to be 20, 60. Smooth bore knocks it all the way down. Sorry, guys, you don't get the nice range. So 20 feet. The gun is now going to be 20 feet without disadvantage and 60 feet, up to 60 feet with disadvantage. So it's a smooth bore weapon that does a D12 of damage and an AoE of 5 feet. Okay, got it? Cool. Now, we're going to roll for our D12 for what kind of damage this gun will do. And that is fire. All right, cool. So basically you're going to be firing pretty effective Molotov cocktails at the cultists. Congrats. So, like I said, the gun is going to be a smooth bore firearm that has glass vials, tempered glass vials, because, we don't want them to detonate inside the gun. Vials of some type, magically enchanted, whatever, however you guys want to do it for your world. Vials that do fire damage. It's a D12 in a 5-foot area, and its range is 20 to 60 feet. So there you go. Have fun. Enjoy. Let me know how it goes. And obviously, guys, as always, for you murder hobos and wannabe war criminals, remember, whatever you do to your Dungeon Masters NPCs is 100% fair game to be done to you. Have a good one.